Hello, everybody out there in internet land. I am Russell Dyball, and welcome to this very special live spotlight on VLT. I'm going to be moderating things today, but I would like to introduce the woman of the hour here, our interim executive director here at VLT, Jessica Ruth Baker. Jessica, how you doing?
Great, Russell. Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for hosting this spotlight for us.
Oh, no.
Thanks for moderating. It's always good to hang out with friends.
Right on, right on. Ditto, ditto. So, hey, why are we here?
Well, we have been working on our renovations for several months now, and we are now coming up to the end of the year. Can you believe that 2021 is almost over?
I can't.
But we are. So we decided that we wanted to take some time to reach out to our followers, our donors, our patrons, and just make sure that you knew, hey, we're still here, what's going on at VLT, and answer any questions that you might have about the renovations, about the upcoming season, about VLT in general. I know that we're kind of enigma to a lot of people.
Absolutely. But now, if they have questions, they can just type them on in there.
Absolutely. We're live on both Facebook Live and YouTube Live. If you type in a comment on either of those, it's going to pop up and we'll be able to see your questions.
Well, I'm just going to kick it off.
Great. Thanks.
So, tell us the state of the union here. How's the project going?
It's cooking along. If you are driving along 24th and or Hilliard, you're going to see that big old building on the back of our building here. That's our new fly house that's going up. So that's probably the most outrageous change that you can see from the outside. On the inside, of course, we've got concrete getting poured. We've got the new proscenium going in. Our catwalk has been moved. We've put in new lights in the house. There's been huge changes here at VLT.
It's really exciting. Now, what do you think it's going to look like? We have a color scheme that we're talking about here.
It's going to be beautiful. I'm so excited. It's going to be so warm because we kept the cedar arches that are so iconic as a part of what VLT is. And so all of our colors were chosen to really resonate with those cedar colors. So our seats are going to be this gorgeous amber, that's what they're called on the manufacturer's website, to coordinate with the blue carpet that we are installing, as well as our beautiful rich blue main curtain that we have ordered. So it's going to be a really rich, warm atmosphere. We've also expanded the stage. So there's actually going to be a deeper stage, more room for sets and actors and such. And we're going to have two side stages that extend past the proscenium so that you're able to see people sitting there for a pit band or maybe a side scene in a show. It's going to be really beautiful. And the best part is on the sides of the arches, we're putting in what we're calling the galleries. So these are hallways that people can use to access the house, but we'll also be installing art or putting up the history of VLT or maybe an installation about the current production. Who knows? It's a blank canvas that we're excited to fill.
Now, from an audience standpoint, for all these people out there who might want to come join us when we return and sit down and watch a show with us. I know. Let's talk a little bit about those seats, those new seats.
I am so excited about these new seats. They are so beautiful. They're soft. They're comfortable. They are also much wider than our old seats.
Thank goodness.
I know. Because it was so hard to squeeze into those seats. So they are going to be a full 24 inches wide now. Make sure that you are nice and comfortable. We have also expanded the leg room to make sure that you have plenty of space in front of you, which again, we were all watching our shows with our knees up against our noses there. So we've made plenty of space. And the most important thing is it's much more accessible for folks who are using wheelchairs, walkers, and have other mobility challenges. So we've really made sure that this is an accessible space for everybody to be able to join us in the new theater.
Now, it will be slightly fewer seats than what we've had before. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. So the old house had 217 seats. This new house has 201. But I think that that is a reasonable exchange for a little bit more comfort, a little bit more accessibility.
And my understanding is that the sight lines are going to be improved for a lot of folks.
Yeah, it's really exciting because we are lifting up the audience. So, when you were sitting in the old seats in VLT, we had that really weird angle that the seats were at. And especially if you sat in that front row of seats, you were kind of looking up some noses on stage. So instead, we are lifting up up the audience and giving them stadium seating so that you're able to see much more of the stage. You're not so sunk down. It really does improve all the sight lines. And now there's not a bad seat in the house. There really isn't.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Am I missing something here? Do you have any points here that I'm not covering? Because there's so much going on.
There
with this,
is
folks.
so much going on. As you can see, we're sitting in our stage left area, which many of you know as a space where we've done some of our more interesting small plays, local theater. We also have our refreshments in here during main stage shows. At the moment, it is storage for all of our props and sets, as you can see. When they were doing construction, they said, hey guys, you got to get all your stuff out of there so that we don't get dust all over it. So this is now our storage area. Fortunately, it gave us a great opportunity to go through all of that stuff because theater people are notorious hoarders. And let me tell you, when you've been in a theater for 72 years, you tend to hoard a lot of stuff. So it's been a great opportunity for us to go through all of our things, make sure that we have what we really need, and get rid of the things that we don't. Keep an eye out for maybe a garage sale coming up soon where you can take home a piece of VLT history as well.
It's terrific. I mean, just it's exciting to know that this refresh essentially is not just going to be what can be seen with the naked eye, but also internally as well. And I think that probably also is reflected right now by you in your position right now as interim executive director.
Absolutely. The board and I had a long conversation about, there's a lot to do. And we've always planned on putting someone in a role like this. And we said, this is the time. There is so much to get done before we are able to open. And I'm so thrilled that the board agreed and said, yes, let's get you going. Let's get the work done. We're also excited that we are working with local agency Capelli Miles on a refresh of our brand too. So when we open our doors, we're going to be able to show you a whole new website. We'll be able to have new color schemes, things like that. Who knows what's going to happen in this process? It's a collaborative process that we're working through with Capelli Miles to find a new brand that honors and incorporates the history of VLT and everything that we have done over the last 92 years, as well as shows our outlook and our fresh ideas for the future.
Outstanding. So I know, obviously, because I've shared various spaces around this building over the last couple of years for fundraiser things. Is there anything coming up?
Absolutely. So our plan right now is to be able to open in early 22, pending construction, of course. Everybody watching knows what construction can do. But our plan is to open early 22 with Little Women, the musical, which was the show that we had running, was going to open March 13th, 2020. So we're so thrilled that we're going to be able to pick up where we left off. We're also going to welcome Murder on the Orient Express is going to be another of our main stage shows. And then here in stage left, once we get all this stuff out, we'll be able to pick up again with Cat Lady by Jen Farrow, which was rehearsing before the pandemic hit as well. And Minority Voices Theater, one of our outreach programs, is going to be hosting an evening of one-act readings about the history of the first one act is called Hattie's Vote by local playwright Dorothy Velasco. And it's about Hattie Redmond, who was a Black woman here in Oregon who was essential to securing women's suffrage and the women's vote here in Oregon. And then the second piece is called Nat Turner's Final Struggle, Finding His Way Home by P.A. Ray. And it's a piece about Nat Turner, who was an enslaved preacher in the South. He led one of the biggest, bloodiest slave rebellions in history. And the play is all about his reflections on the night before his execution. So it's a really beautiful evening of one act. I'm so thrilled that Minority Voices Theater has said that they wanted to bring that to our stage left area.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's exciting. There's just so much happening right now that's just right on the cusp of being out there. And of course, I'm sure everybody involved with VLT is really, really terribly excited to get those doors open.
No, me too. And it's been hard not to be able to have in-person shows. You know, we were so fortunate to be able to do Ministers of Grace in the parking lot right out here this summer. I think everybody agrees that was a hit.
It went pretty well.
If we do say so ourselves.
Yeah.
So that was great. And of course, our virtual little theater has been such a success. Folks keep contacting me and saying, wow, that's so impressive what you put together on YouTube, what we were able to do during the pandemic. So even though, no, we haven't been able to do any of our main stage shows, I think that we've still been really busy, very productive, right?
Yeah.
And ultimately, our biggest concern is making sure that we are creating a space that is safe and healthy for everyone involved, members, actors, audience members. And so we're going to be able to open when it is safe and secure, both building wise and when we are sure that we're able to assure the safety of everyone on stage and off.
Well, and I mean, I think it goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. I mean, all of this, continued work that's been done on the building, and the virtual stuff and stuff outside, all that stuff, and the stuff that's to come. I mean, so much of that is indicative of the support that we have in this community, not just by attending, not just by hitting like, share, and subscribe and all that stuff, but also by throwing us a couple of hard-earned bucks.
Absolutely. Well, and we are nonprofit, which many theaters are nonprofits that you see in communities. And we have been so fortunate to have a community who reached out when the pandemic first hit and they donated. We then have folks who have been visiting thevlt.com/donate, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, and they've been donating all throughout the pandemic. And finally, we launched a crowdfunding campaign about a month ago, which has been going really, really well. It just broke $2,000 raised just by people reaching out to their friends, $10, $20, $30 at a time. And so that's really exciting to see that kind of support in our community where people are saying, yes, this is an institution that we want to see keep going, that we want to support. And one of the other ways that you can support us is you can go to our website and you can buy gift certificates right now for our upcoming season or for any time in the future at VLT. And through the month of December, we are actually offering personalized festive gift certificates. I've been having some graphic design fun, making some VLT themed personalized certificates. It's been a big hit with folks.
Wonderful. So where do you see all this going? You know, we're 93 years. Where do you see VLT 7 years from now when it hits the big century mark?
When we hit that century mark, I think people are going to think of VLT as a true community hub, that we are a place where people can come and learn the art of theater, rediscover their love of theater if they've left theater in the past, that we welcome anyone to come work on our stage, work backstage, learn the workings of how a theater operates, that we have so much opportunity for people to join us in our endeavor to become a stronger, more solvent theater, and be able to be open to the community. You know, we're interested in having folks come rent our new beautiful theater. You know, we've got this great space that we're building. Why not share it? So we'd love to be able to reach out to schools, make sure that we are helping to support their theater programs as well. So at the 100 mark, I think we're going to see a really beautiful confluence of old and new plays, new playwrights coming through, new actors, new designers, as well as people who, like I said, left theater to go work in the real world and have come back and are working again on our stage. And it's going to be a really beautiful, diverse, eclectic group of people because Eugene is a pretty incredible, eclectic group of people, if I have noticed over the last 6 years since I moved here.
Absolutely. That's really a terrific vision. And, you know, knock on anything, you know, to get us there. But of course, we've got to get there. We've got to get to next year.
Yeah.
So really, you know, if you have donated to us here previously, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. It means a lot. And that money is going to keep this wonderful beacon of community arts here in Eugene and Lane County in Oregon, doggone it, going for a long time.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you can't, you could always donate some more.
Well, and don't forget that there are some benefits to our donors as well. There is, of course, you can write off your donation since this is a 501c3 nonprofit. So for tax reasons, you certainly can donate before the end of the year. We also have such a unique program in the Oregon Cultural Trust, where if you donate to us and then match your donation to the Oregon Cultural Trust, you will get that donation back dollar for dollar as a credit on your taxes, which is a pretty incredible program that they have running. So, you know, of course, we are thankful for all of our donations and all of our donors, but I also wanted to let you know, some of that comes back to you too. And that's what community is all about, right? Is making sure that we are supporting one another, that we're helping one another. And especially during the tough times that we've had over the last 2 years, remembering that we are a community.
Absolutely. Does it seem like we have any questions? Are we just covering everything so wonderfully well that we've just left it all out on the field and we've got everything?
I think so. Yeah, no. And it's, we are an open book. I am always happy to answer any questions, tell people more about the theater. Feel free to contact us. My email is jessica@thevlt.com. I'm an open book.
It's pretty easy to remember.
Right?
Yeah. Any final thoughts or what?
No, we have done such a good job of raising funds for this project. We are less than $200,000 away from our final goal, which is incredible to think that we had started out with a goal of $1.65 million. So we are so thankful for all of those donations. And again, go to thevlt.com to be able to donate, support us. And we're looking forward to seeing you in the new year.
Outstanding. Yeah. Happy holidays to everybody out there, a little bit in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Then should we sign off?
Absolutely. Russell, thanks so much for moderating tonight. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. And we'll keep a recording of this on our Facebook and YouTube as well. So you can always watch this again if you want to see our beautiful faces.
Outstanding. Or if you don't, you can just walk away from the computer and turn it up really loud.
Good night, everybody.